Hello, good morning. And I'm still answering questions that I frequently get from my DM. So randomly, I picked quite a number of them, and I would answer one today. There's a question here. The lady says, "I'm a Christian lady, and I struggle with very strong sexual appetite. I'm committed to sexual purity until marriage, so I sometimes use sex toys to release the urge instead of sleeping with several guys. I'm honestly curious. Is this a wise way to manage my desires, or am I deceiving myself?" The father went on to ask, "Is it good or bad?" Interestingly, I get these questions a lot in my coaching and my therapy sessions. And maybe the first thing I would say is that we first need to understand that sexual desire is natural. And honestly, research in sexual health said that over half of women have used sex toys in their life. That being said, there are also different reasons why people use sex toy. Some people use it for stress, some people use it out of curiosity, some people use it to manage their sexual appetite. But the reality is that, I'm not a one size fits all kind of a person. The bigger question for me is the sex toy solving a root problem, or is it solving a symptom problem? Very important. Important to know that sexual appetite can be driven by exposure to sexualized material on social media. It could be driven by emotional loneliness. It could also be for stress and anxiety regulation. It's not a one size fits all. I always say that if a device simply provokes quick release, may manage the symptoms without getting to the root of what the problem is. Some clinical research also has it that when there's a reliance on a device, it causes what is called conditioning patterns that now conditions the mind to rely on a kind of stimulation. There's also the school of thought that says that anything that has an alternative will lose its value. Some people believe it, some other people don't believe it. Other believe that using sexual toys make them avoid sexual behavior they will regret later. Some other people believe that when they have sex toys, it makes them disciplined and doesn't make them have multiple partners. And you see, the list is endless. As a coach, my job is not to offer a moral verdict about the behavior. My job is to help you understand what is the underlying reason why you are using the sex toy. If you treat the symptoms, the behavior will pause. But if you understand the root, then transformation can begin. I won't focus on whether this is good or bad. I will focus on asking yourself, what is this trying to tell me? Because emotion is data. So this is trying to tell you something about your emotions, about your soul, about your spiritual life. And I don't think that should be ignored. Here's my final thought. Honestly, sex toys are tools. They are not solutions. They don't solve the deeper questions about intimacy, about emotions, and perhaps about the frequency of emotional loneliness that you have to deal with, the fact that you have been used to using it to reduce stress and anxiety. The answer is not a cast in stone. There has to be deeper questions. But like I said, my job is not to put a moral verdict over it. It's to help you find what the deeper issues are. And if you're willing to work on that, I'm just a call away. Hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.